monkey life is the life for me. Not a pirate or an MC. MC Spider Monkey, the fly white honky, the king of the jungle, the pimp in the palm trees, dipping, sipping on coconut wine, blinging out my rings, busting out my rhymes, cruising in my pint-sized Escalade, smoking, feeling blunts in the shade. This monkey's got it made.
Hey everybody, Monkey King here. Guess what time it is? And yes, I have a haircut, and I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro. But it's comic book time, so let's get started. And today we're going to be looking at Sonic Selects Volume 1, 2, and 3. Alright, there's a lot to cover, but most of these issues that are in Sonic Select are just old issues that they reprinted and recolored. So, in the very first issue, we have Sally and Sonic getting a mysterious message telling them to go to the mysterious Forbidden Zone where they fight robots! More robots! A griffin! And the worst of all, a two-headed dragon! But luckily, they're able to defeat all that and find a chest! And what does that chest hold? Well, none other than a letter! A letter from the future Sally. Lame. Random poster time! There's also a chapter about Tails and how he goes to Sonic Con. And what does he do at Sonic Con? He defeats Toadzilla and Dr. Robotnik in the most ridiculous robot ever. Next chapter includes bringing in my favorite character, Knuckles, who for some reason he's having a little bit of trouble on his island. Here's Master Emerald. Sorry, I really like that face. Can we get a zoom in on that face? Thank you. But anyway, the Chaos Emerald is somehow being controlled, and Robotnik is making the floating island, Angel Island, into a giant weapon. So what does Knuckles do? He does the only thing possible. He destroys the Chaos Emerald! Ugh! And then they come up with this idea. Hey! I have an element, so it's okay. Everything's safe. There's also a chapter about him running around trying to follow this voice, and you never know who it is. Then, our hero gets captured by Knack the Weasel! Of course, Knuckles comes in to help our hero Sonic, but for some reason Sonic thinks that it's Knuckles who kidnapped him. And Sonic and Knuckles fight, count 1. But they realize, hey, it wasn't Knuckles, it was Robotnik. So they forgive each other, and Sonic takes away a very oddly colored Knack. Also, there's a chapter about Tails getting some kind of weird submarine thing. And, oh look, there's an oil spill. Hey, Tails gets an idea. I'm gonna go check this out. So it's an Octobot who is, for some reason, Robotnik has built a oil thing at the bottom of the sea. So Tails destroys it. Hooray! Saving the ocean! Boo. Oh, there's also about the second-hand freedom fighters, but who cares about them? Alright, now we tackle Volume 2, my favorite volume. We start off with the freedom fighters in a carnival, but where is this carnival being held? None other than Angel Island, which Knuckles isn't too happy about. Why? Because this guy put the carnival on his island, which is actually run by Robotnik, and he traps the freedom fighters in a mirror maze. This is also where we meet the Chaotix, and they help Knuckles defeat the newly built Metal Sonic that Robotnik built. So, they go to rescue the freedom fighters, and wouldn't you know it, Metal Sonic powers up to like Super Saiyan level. But luckily, the Chaotix had a power gem, and Knuckles grows to exponential size and punches Metal Sonic in the face, freeing the freedom fighters. And the carnival guy gets, arrested by Muppets. Weird. Now we move on to the Battle of Super Sonic Ed versus Hyper Knuckles. Sally notices that there's some trouble on Knuckles Island, and so she sends Sonic to, literally, negotiate with non-violence. See? And how does Knuckles respond? By punching Sonic in the face. And they fight. And they fight. And Sally shows up to kind of break them up. But the tree that Knuckles pulled out of the ground, luckily, happened to have the Hyper Zone underneath it. So Sonic goes in, collects 7 Chaos Emeralds, 50 rings, and becomes Super Sonic! But Knuckles does the same thing and becomes Hyper Knuckles! And the battle begins. Wow! Those are kind of sound effects, but that's not the point. And then how Sonic reacts, he goes, and how does Knuckles react to this? He goes, and for those of you at home, that's battle number 8. And then they collide together, and they create a... moving on. The next chapter kind of talks about Knuckles and his dad and how Knuckles is going to be a better guardian. Good luck. Now we get to my favorite part of this entire book, the Mecha Madness chapter, where Sonic has been roboticized by Robotnik himself, and he goes off and actually starts destroying Knothole. So Knuckles comes in and, well, him and Sally have a history. He tries to help. Tails lets him know that Sonic's in Knothole destroying it, and Robotnik wants to know where Knothole is, but Sonic's like, not really ready to tell you yet. So how does Knuckles respond? By punching Sonic in the face! The Freedom Fighters actually turned Knuckles into a robot as well, so him and Sonic go at it once again, but this is an epic robotic battle. Oh, awesome! Love the artwork in this anyway. So they fight, and then they end up crashing in Robotnik's city, destroying it. Half of it, at least. So Knuckles brings Sonic back, Sally hugs him, and it's kind of a cute picture. They bring Sonic back by electrocuting him and getting rid of all the roboticness. And how does he thank Knuckles? By blaming him. And then they arrest Sonic for destroying Knothole Village. But you don't get to know about that yet. Meanwhile, the Chaotix are fighting guerrilla warfare, lightning links, flying frog, and some guy named Predator Hawk. And here's Mammoth Mongol, who issued this whole thing. And so the Chaotix basically punch you in the face. And the end of the book is with Knuckles looking for the Acorn Sword. And now we continue on to book number 3. Oh, God. We start off with the Battle Royale between the Freedom Fighters and the Chaotix, which you'd think this would be an epic battle, but the artwork is so terrible, it just ruins it. By the way, I cannot count this as a Knuckles Sonic fight because it's Mammoth Mongol who's doing this whole thing. He uses his own little pawns to pose as the opposite team, so they fight each other. Luckily, they figured this out, and what do? They fight Mammoth Mongol. And Archimedes Knuckles fire at Buddy goes, hey look, here's a Chaos Emerald, die! Which Mammoth Mongol vanishes, and Knuckles presents Sally with the Acorn Sword, and oh my god, this is the worst picture ever! The only redeeming quality of this entire volume is Antoine's chapter, where he actually is well, kind of Rambo. He goes in to Robotnik's palace to find a map, but Robotnik's goons start shooting at him. He escapes through the sewers and slices one of the robots that follows him. Then he goes to talk to Uncle Chuck, Sonic's robot uncle, about a map. Well, the other half. Uncle Chuck says he doesn't know where it is, so he goes back to his friends. In the next chapter, we deal with a run-down Robotnik city. Here's Sir Gregory. And the reason why Sir Gregory's there is because Sally's dad, King Acorn, wants him to destroy all the people of the village that have been roboticized, including Sonic's parents and this very creepy dog. Very creepy dog. And of course, Sonic doesn't exactly know that his parents were roboticized, so he blames Uncle Chuck for never telling him. But because Robotnik's gone, they decide to rename the city New Mobotropolis, and Robotnik's nephew Snively doesn't do a freaking thing in this entire book. The next chapter, or the final chapter, is Return of the King, where Sally's dad basically comes back to rule the kingdom. Meanwhile, the Freedom Fighters go back to New Metropolis, where the robotic people have kind of started rebelling, but that's what they always do. So Sonic tries to help his uncle, and what happens? Somebody shoots his uncle! Who? A loser character. But they soon learn that King Acorn's been possessed by this wizard spirit, so with the help of Sonic, the king realizes his problem and returns to normal thanks to the Sword of the Acorns. And in the final chapter, I'm not even going to get into it, it is retarded. But all in all, I do recommend these books, even though Volume 2 was probably my favorite and Volume 3 was the, oh god, was the worst of the entire Sonic Select. So I gotta give it a 2 out of 5. Until then, review on!